All right, so we got all our bolts tight. This is super tight. This is super tight down here. This ain't going anywhere. There's only, on these EFI exhaust manifolds, there's only one bolt going through. The rest of them are just kind of there where it could slide out. So I got to make sure it's really tight while this is in transportation. So I'm going to have this all torqued down, and then we're going to trailer this thing over and get this fabricated to fit around the seat and get around the carburetor / fuel injection carburetor. And yeah, waiting for the carburetor to come in. We'll get that bolted on. Well, this is crazy because this is the whole harness all the way to the back of the van. And it's like 1/4. My engine harness for this car is bigger than this. And this is the whole van. Engine, under the dash, all the way to the back of the van, all in one. This is it. There's nothing missing from this except for like a foot of wire that went to the door over there. That's totally crazy. So I probably haven't looked at the roof since day one. Just checking it out now. It's kind of interesting. It has these sunken in areas, pops up, and then it goes back in. It's probably just a stability thing. Looking at our rails. Not horrible. Not horrible. And a lot of this stuff wonder if that's on purpose. The rear end is almost flat. In other words, is that the way the water comes off? So where, you know, over here it's deep, or did someone just fill that in? Seems like it's equal on the other side. I'll check the front too. Yeah, looks like it's the same thing. Fills up so it could bleed out, I guess. So just a little bit of surface rust. Looks like there's an indentation here. We're gonna have to see if we could work out maybe. Pretty big indentation. Maybe it'll just pop. So, other than that, looking pretty good. Well, that's fixed. I just went in there and put my fist to the ceiling and boom, popped right out. So, I can't tell if there's little bumps there or if that's just where the paint's dry. But kind of dry looking. But in any case, I think we're looking pretty good up here. Just need to get these rails looking good, clean them up, strip everything. Probably going to be, I think the order we're going to go here is get the body work done as much as possible, pop the windows, and then strip the paint. Oh, of course, take out the engine before that. So I think that's what we're going. I'm going to strip some of the paint off the bottom where the magnet's not holding on to. That way we see what's going on. My stripper's not coming in for a little bit because I have strippers. And the stripper's going to come in and help me take the paint off, strip the paint off. So in any case, I could probably, you know what, I'm not going to take the weather stripping off yet because, not that it's perfect, but if you're aligning the doors, it might give you some kind of, you know, give you the depth that you need to know where the door is supposed to be closing. They're probably a little shrunk at this point, but, or they're locked in exactly where they need to be. Either or. I like the second one. So we are going to keep moving forward here, and we're going to strip out the ceiling and fix anything we can, like this little thing that it's hard to see on camera, but this is bent in half. I got to bring this back so it's all flush. There you go. So these rails are pretty jacked up, so we'll get those rails fixed. We can fix some of this stuff too, and I'm not sure if stripper is going to be the best way to take this off, or it's just a lot of glue. A lot of glue. And there's definitely there's a bow right here. Like, this is way higher there than it is anywhere else. I don't know how much that really matters. Someone was bottoming out the car. I mean, it's right on the frame. I wonder if it has to, is that where the grease is? No, it's right here. It's right where the frame is. I guess it's just bowing up to the frame and sagging a little bit everywhere else. No big deal. Remember, I'm a practical perfectionist. We don't care about stuff like that. I'm just a little disappointed there's glue everywhere. I mean, I get why there is, but I wish there wasn't. Because otherwise this stuff would come off pretty easy. I'm assuming that the paint stripper will remove that too, but I have no idea. Never used it. Is it a STP sticker? Oh. I think it is. I haven't seen STP. You know what's funny is I started using the term STP recently, and I think it's all because of me restoring this van because you haven't heard that name in forever. That was like the additive of choice, which is now kind of taken over by Lucas, I guess. But, you know, got to put that STP additive in. Wow, that's crazy. Did not expect that. So the other big thing that we're having issues with are these. So some of the gnarls, if that's the correct word, is a little bit stripped. And I don't think, you know, I'm seeing some new old stock, but the new old stock looks rusted. And that doesn't make me feel good. I'm assuming you could just replace that pin. If you could just replace the pin, then I need to replace all the pins. I'll do that. But I don't know if that's even possible. So, and I don't really know, like there's a little panel there and a little panel over there. I don't even know what's in there. In fact, I saw in a video, I saw like it was open. Somebody had one open and I was like, oh, it's no big deal in there. And I don't remember now. My memory is just totally shot these days. So that's really interesting. I don't know what that is. But there is something in there that I do not want to touch with my hands. We will see. I'm putting the glasses on in case it attacks me. It looks like a churro. Ah. History. This is what screwdrivers look like in 1960, 1970. That's funny. Well, if you used to own this van and you were wondering what that rattle was all those years, that was it. Crazy. Well, as you saw, I drug the magnet all across the vehicle. Didn't really matter if I scratched the paint or not. And then I marked every area that the magnet was not sticking, and unfortunately it's a lot. Now, you could sit there and say, well, Jim, why didn't you do this when you first bought the vehicle? Well, this vehicle was 90% better condition than any other one I saw. The other ones, pretty much the whole vehicle looked like that. Just destroyed. It looked like that, inside and outside. So this was the best looking vehicle. I still believe it was the right thing. Got the right engine, even though there's no date on it. But it's the coveted engine everybody wants. Somebody write a performance handbook. Maybe I'll have to do that. I'm not an engine guy, so I don't know. I like giving back to the community. So, yeah, this whole side is actually really good. It's just a few spots here and a few spots on the door. The other door was fine, and then the rest of the body was kind of weird. And then, of course, these corners. So what I'm just trying to do is kind of open up stuff so my bodywork guy could have a visual. And I'll see. This seems to be a little bit of a slow process using this machine. I think it's one of the best processes you could use if you're manually doing it, but it is a little slow, especially when you're a 1/4 inch deep on filler. So we'll see how fast it goes through these areas, which I think are going to be very slight. I'm hoping that's the case. You know, maybe just a little bit of like a skin coat, if you will. So, but in a few days I'll have the stripper, and then we can maybe do some more in those areas if I'm getting nowhere with this machine. I don't want to, it's really loud, and I really don't want to like piss off my neighbors. In fact, my neighbors are over there right now disassembling a basketball net, and I thought they were going to be gone for the day and they're back. So try not to make too much noise here, but we're going to mask up and we're going to dig in and see what happens.